Hey there and welcome to this new video. So today we're going to cover basically the use of WhatsApp inside of your flow. As you know, in GetSales you could do email, you could do LinkedIn, but WhatsApp is a very solid way that you can basically add a new step, a new channel in your multi-channel approach. So for that, we're going to be using WASender. WASender API is a platform. It's not an official API, but it is cheaper and it doesn't require you to approve any copies to Meta and so on and so on. And it has a very simple use of their API. So how it works is basically like this. Once you make an account, they work on pricing on how many sessions or how many like WhatsApp numbers you connect. So essentially, the base plan is $6, then it moves to 5, and then to like 4.5 if you have at least 10 accounts with them. Now, how it works is basically that once you log in, you will have your sessions, and to create a new session, you simply insert the number, and once you create connection, it will now it will just do that. But once you insert a session, it will just give you a QR code to scan, just as if it was WhatsApp web. And then this is basically the result. So you will, once it's connected, you will see this. And by connected, I just mean that on WhatsApp, we just need to connect a new device, just as if it was like WhatsApp web. And then you just scan the code and this will appear. So how to interpret this? This basically needs to be inserted in the GetSales step. So on GetSales, you just need to create call API. And here, what you want to do, the first thing is method post endpoint, this endpoint here, which WASender gives it to you exactly in the number itself. And then authorization, you can basically you basically paste whatever it gave you here in terms of API key, or you could just copy it from here. Content type application.json, so it kind of goes along the lines of what we did in our previous one. Now body, what you want to do is you want to have 2, which is the number with the plus in this kind of format. So if we go here, we can understand that it's like this one. And then text is like hi, and then it can also be like dynamic fields. So it could be like hi first name, whatever. And then you're going to send the WhatsApp message. And the best part is being in this flow, it is really cool because if somebody, how do you say, replies back to you, you can interrupt the automation. So how to do that? Basically, what you want to do is you want to, let's just do this. So you want to do automations, create an automation, and then you just do manual, continue. Now, here's where you start. I want to start by calling a custom webhook. And here, what we actually need to do first is in our webhook section, we want to create a new webhook. So we just call it, let's just think of a name. Let's just thinking about like WhatsApp reply. Now, what we want to just say is, let's just give a random one because these custom calls is what we need. So just give a random one. Now, target URL, how do we get that? What we want to do basically here is we want to, let's just set it up in Clay, but this could be any automation tool. So what we want to do is we want to create a webhook table. And then we want to copy this. And we want to, first of all, paste it on WhatsApp, not on Clay. Not on GetSales. Because what's going to happen is basically, and here we just go on edit and then enable webhook notifications, and you just paste this. And then you want to make sure that it's reply received. And then you hit save changes. So what happens here is every time you get a new message, you will basically get your webhook triggered onto Clay. Now, for this, there are 2 workarounds. You can, and then you'll start getting data here. There are 2 workarounds. We can go the webhook route. So basically, which actually is not the best here. So I'm just correcting myself. So not to overcomplicate stuff, let's just set up a webhook, copy the URL, put it on WhatsApp. That's the process. Now, heading back to our automation, what I would simply do is we want to essentially get, whenever somebody triggers and replies us to WhatsApp, we want to remove him from the campaign. We don't want to send any webhooks and everything. We don't want to get confusing. So first step, we added the API call. Now, because this is not directly embedded into GetSales, we cannot see and understand if somebody replied back to us, and we don't want to send them a connection request on LinkedIn or in general send them another like follow up if the person actually replied. So to do that, what we want to do is we want to set up a webhook in an automation tool. It can be Clay, it can be N8N, it can be anything. Just copy that and we paste it onto the webhook section of our phone number. That means that as soon as somebody replies to that number, you could even test it yourself by sending yourself a message. You will get the rowing clay or the execution on N8N. Now, we just take that execution, take the data from the execution. So just to give you an example, let's say that this data here was the data that came from the execution of somebody who messaged me on WhatsApp. I will just go back to the GetSales, and from automation, I would be like, cancel contact from either all automations or specific automation. And then the process is pretty simple. So what I do is, let's say in Clay, I will just change my API call, and I'll put a put, because this is what the request is asking me. It says put, and then we want to put the right endpoint. So it's like, just copy all of this, and then we're going to paste it, of course, in the endpoint section, making sure to have the right UUID of the flow. For the ones who don't remember, this is the UUID. We get it in the URL of the link of GetSales. And then we just put the bearer token, the authorization, and the content type. Now, there's also an option here to put more flows. This is if you want to remove them from multiples, but usually the best thing is if you want to just remove them from all, you just remove them directly from all. And you just remove the contact from every single campaign you have live where that contact may be there. And by doing so, you basically integrated fully WhatsApp into GetSales, because if a lead replies back to you, you don't have to worry about that lead getting 2 or 3 messages and then the lead understanding that you're not human and then potentially losing the lead. So for me, this is all. I thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.